Hello friends! In this video I'm going to explain what I like to call awakening to zero state and how you can use that as a tool in your own life to find that balance. Let's go! So what is zero state? Let's look at it like this. Here is zero state. And here are all the negative numbers. -1, 2, 3, 4, negative, negative, negative. Here are all the positive numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they go off into infinity either way, but here is zero state. Let's place all the negative emotions here, fear, anger, doubt, all that stuff, and all the positive emotions here. Love, compassion, energy, joy, all that stuff. We are constantly going like this throughout our day. You know, we're on that roller coaster of life, going back and forth. But how often are we relying on zero states? A lot of us just live our lives going like this, back and forth, until we get exhausted, and then we have to rest. And at the end of the day, we're just so tired that we just crash out because we've been doing this all day and not spent much time in that zero state. So the most obvious manifestation of zero state is meditation. When your mind is shut off and you're just recharging totally, your mind is blank, you're in that blank place, that is the pure essence of zero state. That's why I extol the virtues of meditation very often. So have you ever gone to an amusement park and had the time of your life and it was wonderful and so much dopamine was released that you were here and having such a good time that you were so exhausted and just, oh my God, had to crash out, boink. Or you've been so depressed during your day and so worried and so stressed that by the end of the day you're like, oh gosh, I have to crash out, boom. That zero state is sleep. It's recharging you and getting you back to energizing your battery in that zero state so you can take on another day of the roller coaster. But that zero state is a tool that you can rely on any time of the day, anytime you want. And the closer you stay to that zero state all day long, the more energy you have throughout the day. But like I asked before, how often are we relying on the zero state as a tool, a gift? You're welcome. And in lots of my videos, I refer to breathing and aligning and centering and just going. And what I'm doing is I'm referring really to that zero state. Because when you're stressed out or you're depressed, coming back to that zero state is going to recharge you. And this magical thing is there too, where if you're full of energy and you're all hyped up, try to calm yourself and go back to that zero state, because when you do that, you're conserving that energy so that you can release it more slowly throughout your day and have more energy. When you're all excited, you're going to crash pretty soon. It feels more orgasmic when you're hyped up, but you're going like this. You just feel really calm and cool and confident. And when you're in that negative place and you can return to that zero state, obviously it makes you feel relief from your suffering and you feel much better. So the way you can practice this or learn how to get to that zero state is by meditation. That's obviously the big one I can't say enough about, or just triggering yourself throughout the day to get back there. You know, trigger yourself. Remember throughout your day that that is what you want to do, is get back to that zero state. Think about what you're feeling and like I said, trigger and find out, am I closer to that zero state or am I stressing? Am I getting all energetic and nervous and hyped up, or am I more toward that zero state? In this way, you use that zero state, like I said, as a tool, and it will balance you. The yin-yang symbol, that's what that is. That's why it's a zero. It's the zero state. It's got half black and half white. Half black, half white. But within each of those black and white pieces is another little zero, reminding you that when you're in those positions, come back to that zero state that is the whole thing. The zero state within it is the duality of both. It's not like you're ignoring either one, it's that you're balancing both of them to align and let the true you express. And everything is born out of that zero state. All your desires, everything you want to manifest is coming out of there. Because when you're in these other places, your energy is not fully coming into you so that it can be expressed. Let's look at this negative part of the spectrum as being barren soil. There's no nutrients, there's nothing there to help it grow. Over here in the positive end of the spectrum, there are a bunch of plants. You're all excited. There are a bunch of plants competing with the soil. But in the middle, that is where the fertile ground is, where you plant your seeds of intention and where everything bursts into life. And that zero state of being is often referred to as the zone. We see sports players, athletes, get into that zone all the time when they're playing. They're not too aggressive and they're not too laid back. They're just in the zone. You feel that when somebody's confident and cool and aware when they enter the room. All the people we admire who are just like laid back and cool, and there we can feel that energy. It's charismatic. That is the tool that you want to use throughout your day. You want to get there. These places, we all go through that. We all go back and forth there. And these two places can be used as a tool also. But here is where we want to gravitate ourselves, center ourselves. And this is kind of like heaven and earth. We bridge the two. And so not only can we go like this, we can also go like this. Maybe that's really the place you want to stay. And this zero state of being is a wonderful tool to use when you're going through depression. The key to climbing out of your depression is to reach for the next best feeling inside of you. It's like a ladder. You want to go up. So that zero state is where you want to get to when you're in depression. Let's say you're just depressed and you're thinking about it and you're feeding it. That's the cause of your perpetual depression, the fact that you keep feeding it. But if you just become numb, think about nothing. Some people will count to 100 when they're depressed, because by the time you get to 100, you're no longer thinking about your depression. You're thinking about nothing. And from that nothingness comes something other than depression. So if you can, while you're depressed, just breathe, clear your mind as best you can. I know it's difficult, but reach for that next best feeling. If you're depressed, maybe get angry. Get angry about it, and then that anger might be easier to cool down than the depression is to climb out of. So reach for that next best feeling, but eventually you want to get to that 0 point, right? Because from that 0 point, you can feel happy again, balance everything, and then come back to the 0 point where there's peace, clarity, and bliss within you. And two wonderful times to reach that 0 point is when you wake up. Don't wake up and reach for your phone and look at it, or start thinking about the worries of the day, what you got ahead. Spend 5 minutes, spend 10 minutes lying there or sitting up in bed and just being in that 0 point. Because from that 0 point, when you first wake up, then you'll be in your power, and then you can choose where to go throughout your day. And also, before you go to sleep, reset to yourself. Spend a little time as you're going to sleep, knowing that you're in that 0 point, the day is finished, and you're going to go into your sleep in that pure place, so that your awareness will have a full rest, and you'll wake up in that 0 point, and that is where your power is. And then, like I said, throughout the day, just keep coming back to it, coming back to that 0. And everything you're worried about, all your stresses, all your highs and lows, will just kind of, and then you will be who you truly are, and your desires can manifest from a more pure spot. And that is it. Thank you for listening. And as always, from this 0 place, I love you.